Now, the federal government of Nigeria has approved mandatory drug testing as a prerequisite for employment into the federal public service as part of renewed efforts to tackle the growing problem of substance abuse in the country. The directive conveyed to permanent secretaries and heads of extra ministerial departments and parastatals was announced in a statement issued by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. According to the statement, the new requirement is aimed at curbing the rising incidence of illicit drug use and its adverse impact on national development, workplace efficiency, and internal security. Joining me to discuss this development is social commentator Timitokbe Akinliola. Good to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to just get you, I mean, this is quite, I would say, should I use the word shocking? Because such a policy haven't been made before. But perhaps it ties into the efforts by the NDLEA. I just want to get your reaction to this latest policy coming from the federal government.
Well, it's a welcome development. It's long overdue because wellness at workplace, mental alertness, all of these things cannot be ruled out, and you cannot have a drug, someone that is influenced with drug to oversee certain positions. We have public servants that are charged with the mandate to ensure that the country is running, the ministry is run well. For me, it's a welcome development. It's long overdue, and I openly welcome these developments.
So I'm wondering, does it suggest to you that perhaps there was a problem and perhaps this is how to resolve it, or it is a measure to even avert such a problem in the first place?
Well, you see, the first thing to look at is we should look at it holistically. Is this policy supposed to aid and ensure we sieve the right people into the system? That's the first angle we should look at it. Because if we start looking at, was there an underlying event that might have led to this? That is not yet public knowledge. However, what is obtainable everywhere, globally, you must go through this drug screening, drug test screening. It is mandatory that you go through this screening, and also NDLEA is there for a reason, you understand, to ensure that, we have the best people within the system so that we do not find ourselves in a situation where people act under the influence of drugs and, illicit substance.
And just beyond the federal service, should it trickle down even to the private sector and probably to even our education sector? Because we do have a drug problem. And you will know that because for as much as the NDLEA is doing, it seems like, it's still on the increase or on the rise. And I'm wondering how much more can we do, whether in the private sector or even for students as well?
Before now, the NDLEA had always been empowered, to prevent, detect, eradicate drug abuse in Nigeria. This is not the first time. That has always been part of their mandate to ensure all of this. And also based on NDCMP, that's the National Drug Control Master Plan. There's a framework that is coordinated by the NDLEA to ensure that, spontaneous, sporadic, and, mandatory tests, drug tests happen within the public service, the educational system, and even among security agencies. It's only right that it trickles down into all these other, both the private sector, the schools, because you do not want people acting under the influence of drugs. It's something that we see the countries like America, the amount of illicit drug within their system, it's alarming. And many of the sporadic shooting have been attributed to drug abuse, so we do not want a situation where things spiral out of control, even in our country. So I think it's a work of development. I also think it should go as far as the schools and also the ministry.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your analysis. We'll see how the Federal Service responds to this latest policy. Social commentator Temitokbe Akinoliola, a pleasure to have you on.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.